LaMelo Ball apparently is open to being traded from the Charlotte Hornets, as per Kelly Eichel. Ball has grown increasingly frustrated amid Charlotte's 4-11 start. I think he did tweet out a response to it and put like a clown emoji. Not sure if that was really his account. Oh, Jake Fisher, I think from Yahoo. I can tell you with absolute certainty that the Charlotte Hornets are not actively looking to move LaMelo Ball anytime. Let's see what he had to gotta say.
I can tell you with absolute certainty that the Hornets are not actively looking to move LaMelo Ball anytime soon, and that everyone involved in this situation, from LaMelo Ball himself to Hornets executives to people on that coaching staff, just like other teams that have been depleted due to injury right now, they want to see what this group could look like with Brandon Miller actually in the fold, with a full lineup, especially with Conca being an immediate sniper right away. So
a shooter.
Yes, rival executives are absolutely believing and preparing for a potential LaMelo Ball trade candidacy before the February 5th trade deadline. But LaMelo Ball is not asking out, to my understanding, and the Hornets are not actively looking to move him by any stretch right now.
You hear mixed reports now, and then you hear players saying one thing 1 second, and the next minute they'll say something else where they're cursing out Stephen A. Smith, saying, "Yo, nobody said that. You're a clown." And then the next minute we see that it was true. What do you feel about LaMelo Ball asking for a trade at this point in his career, with the Charlotte Hornets being as bad as they are?
This was hot on social media on a lot of legit platforms. So I agree with what you just said. At this point, people can say what they want. Oh, we didn't hear this, didn't hear that. So how did it get out? That doesn't just come out of nowhere, right? But it's, for me, it's comical, right? That's why Gilbert Arenas, and I would love for us to react to that maybe one day this week. They was talking about the Kay Cunningham situation. Gilbert is bringing up, like, Kay to signed to Nike, and that, Nike,
I did see that. I did see
right.
that.
And Nike wants, Detroit needs to be careful because, Nike may want him to be in a bigger market, things of that nature. And it's like, why is guys not taking the Kay Cunningham approach, where it's like, stay down, work hard, step your game up, and now look at Kay with the Detroit Pistons. Because let's be for real, when he got drafted, there was some questions. He was injury prone, right? And then, at one time they wasn't even talked about or respected, but now look, right? So for me, with the LaMelo Ball situation, let's just be for real. No one cares. For him to, be like, no one cares. You're part of the problem that the Charlotte Hornets are bad. These players today do not care about the game of basketball. Let's start being honest. The game is bad. You don't see these guys working out. You don't see these guys lifting. All you see these guys do is be models on social media. So be it. But how are you going to make your team and your organization better? How? Watch a guy like Kay Cunningham get it out the mud. And now look, Kay Cunningham could have said this 2-3 years ago. He was a #1 draft pick. Yo, I want out, Pop. Nah, I'm going to stay down. I'm going to thug it out. Now look, I'm one of the best players in the NBA. You know why? They putting in the work. All these guys that got millions of followers on social media, where that's their life, bro, they don't care about the game. So a guy like LaMelo Ball, let's be realistic. You could tell he don't care. This shit is a toy to him. And it's like that with a lot of these guys. And it's just sad that a lot of them, as soon as they hit adversity, they want to run. But you see some guys that's thugging it out. Like I said, I think Kay Cunningham is a perfect example of a player that's getting it out the mud, going through the fire, putting that work in, and now you see what it is. Superstar. Now considered one of the best players in the NBA, has his team in contention to really make some noise. While on the flip side, you got LaMelo Ball with all the talent in the world, but can give two shits about basketball. They putting it in our face, balls. So this ain't nothing made up. We watched the game. Everybody watching these guys' lives on social media. You could tell who cares and who don't. So for me, listen, man, um, it's just sad what the game is turning into. And for LaMelo Ball to act out of Charlotte, no disrespect, but who gives a fuck? I don't think nobody cares. I don't think nobody's going to go crazy to go get him. His contract is a little nuts. Like I said, I think Golden State missed out on getting him because he was the best player available. But at this point, organizations, like I said, I don't know if he's a winning player, great talent, but listen, man, for these players to really be like, yo, I want out because we're losing. If you're the best player on the team, fix it. Fix it. Work harder, get your game better, and fix the problem. But it's comical to me. I'm sorry I took so long, but I love this game, and I'm just watching these guys they destroying the game that we all fell in love with as kids, man. And this shit is starting to be difficult to watch. Like seriously. And so for guys that's like I said, who's LaMelo to really say I want out? What? What? Man. Like it's different if it's one of the big dogs. I get it, but nah, man. These guys, they making it too easy for them, Philippe. Guys say they want out. They go where they want to go. Still don't win. Ain't no pressure. These niggas may not never never win a all playoff series. Never get to the playoffs. They gonna get everything they want. Get the fuck out of here. You think, nah. Stay your ass in Charlotte and thug it out. Straight up. That's how I look at it. Stay where you at. Put some work in first. Have some playoff success or playoff failures. See that they can't get you the proper help or whatever it is. And then ask out. But to be asking out this early, nah, you just want to have your cake and eat it too. Nah. These niggas is fucking the game up, man. I hate it.
He's averaging 21.6 a game, 3.7 turnovers. That hasn't really changed all his whole career. He's averaging 3.3 his whole career. Career high in assists, 9.6 of those, 6.9 rebounds a game. That's a career high. But he's shooting 42% from the field. 38% from the field, 38.5%, and damn near 30% from the 3-point line. And obviously the Charlotte Hornets are just terrible. And with this kind of news, like we mentioned earlier, everyone always denies it. But what's your feeling on this? Because you kind of always have the point of view of a player where it's like, yo, what the hell should you be saying and what should you be thinking when you have this definitely all-star talent?
I think it's a little premature for him to be talking like this, right? I thought he was a player on his way to, if he ever got into position, then he can talk like this. But you're talking about a guy who was an all-star in his second year, right? And then after his second year, he played, I think, like 75 games that year. He hasn't even cracked 50 games over the last 3 seasons, I think. So you're talking about a guy who hasn't been healthy for the last 3 seasons. He hasn't helped elevate the team, right? We're talking about a top 2, top 3 draft pick. He hasn't helped elevate the team. They haven't sniffed the postseason. They haven't sniffed a play-in. They actually have it, fellas, chat. They actually have it where the 10th seed can actually make the playoffs now. So you could just be a 10th seed and actually volley to get into the playoffs. And they're not even that, right? They've consistently drafted in the lottery since they've drafted him. So it's not like they're in the mix. So that's one thing about him. I don't think he is a winning type player right now. But on the other side of it, Charlotte is a poorly ran organization as well. And I don't think a lot of teams get the flack that they're supposed to get for how poorly run they are, right? These players get kicked in the back. But guess what? Detroit has always been a properly run franchise. They hit snides, they hit tough times throughout, their tenure. But for the most part, they are a competent ran franchise. So I'm glad Cade is staying and toughing it out. Charlotte has been shit for a very long time. They haven't been ran well. Our favorite player, everybody's GOAT, ran out. They said, I got to get the fuck out of here. I don't even want to do this shit no more. Here, sell this shit. Y'all take it. Do y'all thing. I don't want to do this shit no more. Like, Charlotte Hornets are not well run. So I don't think he should be speaking like this, right? He should be coming from a perspective of, I got to do what I got to do to help get us to the next level. And the next level should be respectability. Maybe it's not even playoffs, but just a respectable team when they come into the gym. It's like, oh shit, we got the Hornets tonight, y'all. Like we gotta play tough because they're gonna bring it to us. We playing the Hornets tomorrow, right? When do we got the Hornets? In a couple of days, and that's a scheduled win. I feel for us. Those are one of the teams that I feel like when we got them, right?
Next week, next Wednesday, 26th.
Okay, so that's coming up. That's right around the corner, right before Thanksgiving. We should kick up on them and then go get some turkey, right? So they're just a poorly ran franchise. I don't think LaMelo Ball is a winning player. However, who he is and what I could potentially see happening for his career, is something like a Jason Williams. Y'all remember White Chocolate, right? White Chocolate, super flashy, super talented, had a great Sacramento team, right? But the Sacramento team couldn't get over the hump. They weren't really that great with him. They trade him, they bring in Mike Bibby, and now the sky's the limit for that Sacramento team. But on the flip side of it, now you find Jason Williams in the Grizzlies, and you find him under Hubie Brown. And now they transform that team into a playoff style team. So I think coaching matters too. LaMelo Ball needs to get under some good tutelage, some good coaching, some veterans, and it could quickly turn around. For me, I loved White Chocolate, but I didn't consider him a winning player. And Sacramento knew they wasn't going to win with him. So now you switch things up and you bring in Bibby and things look different. But like I said, at the same time, he got put into a situation where he got a real coach, Hubie Brown, a real fucking coach. We're gonna get you right. And I just think, LaMelo Ball would do well under a Kerr, would do well under a Udoka, would do well under a Tibbs. Like the style of coach that is gonna push you and is gonna hold you accountable. He hasn't had one of those guys yet.
Mm. I think the coach is Charles Lee, who was on the Boston bench during their championship run. Keep forgetting the school he went to. I don't think it was VCU, but he went to school on a non-guaranteed scholarship, or before they even offered scholarships. And he just seems to be a hard worker. Just wasn't sure, like you said, does he have the Joe Mazzulla personality that we know is kind of crazy? And the Tibbs of the world that don't accept anything. I think of Bill Parcells. Think of Tom Coughlin when he got Tiki Barber to stop fumbling in New York as a New York Giant. And it was that personality that was like, yo, you got to do it like this. And, LaMelo, we all were rooting for him because of his father. And this seems to be, his father's been quiet lately. God bless him. I know he went, I think he had his foot amputated from, the diabetes, the struggle with diabetes. And just seems to be someone who got, propelled two of his kids to be, help propel two of his kids to be, on a professional level. You just hate to see someone squander an opportunity, especially being older, outside looking in. There's so many reasons for us to be like, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it's that kid's personality is what got him on that court. And I'm pretty sure that I don't think he doesn't care about basketball. Like, he has too much fun playing basketball. A lot comes from it. I did wish he did act like he cared about it more, of course, but he's so super talented. Great passes, just to be that big, to move at that speed, to catch the passes that he does. Not sure how he understands the game too much. And the number one thing that sucks about this, that Jason Williams comparison is spot on, Flea, is the fact that when you got a player like this in any sport, just a person like this in life, when you seem to be that fearless and you squander being fearless by just being reckless, this is what happens. Like, that's what we mean by you don't really fully understand what you have. Like, all-star level, he can be all NBA. That kid he's super talented. And for the fact that he's a fringe, he can't even make an all-star team. He's fringe. I think he made one maybe, but so fun to watch. Go watch a Jason Kidd highlight. Go watch these guys, Magic Johnson. Go watch the guys that played at that speed and were able to just impact the game where you could really talk your shit. Because you talk a lot of shit. That's another problem with him. You talk way too much. Way too much for a guy who's a loser. You lose all the time. And you could be in the conversations with these guys, the John Morants of the world, all of them. This is a similar path with John Morant. He just never had the team that John Morant had. He doesn't have, John Morant had more individual success, but I think Cade Cunningham was pretty lucky in Detroit too, because they had some nepotism going on with that organization where they were hiring their cousins and their little brothers and their mom's, best friend. They were doing a lot over there in Detroit, Flea. So they came around, got everything going, made the right coaching change, made the right draft pick calls. Cade Cunningham has come along, and Jalen Duren's going bananas. They don't have that in Charlotte. They didn't make the right coaching change because they made a coaching change. The kid is hurt too, the 2 guard.
Charles Lee, do my homework on him, but thank you for saying that. Conference Player of the Year at Bucknell. He was a dog. I ain't know he was like that. I'm gonna do some homework. Yeah. He
so
was like that.
But I don't know if it translates because again, I think it's a different skill set to have. Flea play ball, but Flea talking basketball is pretty cool too. So it's like that's what makes you dynamic. I want to see LaMelo Ball talk that shit and play ball, and you're not doing both. You're not doing both, especially being as popular as he is. He sells sneakers, bro.
Yeah, people love him. People love that kid.
He's a fun guy. I would love to see. All of us would love to see. Look what happened with Cade, where he was kind of down. Look what happened with Brunson. Brunson is nowhere near as talented as LaMelo Ball, and he honed in. And we can't even compare parents. They're both basically the same thing. We just don't hear Rick Brunson as much. But LaMelo Ball ain't playing. LaVar Ball is not playing any games. We just know LaMelo's a knucklehead. Clearly, just a knucklehead, and it's sad. We want to see him do better, man. He's super talented kid, man. Hopefully, maybe it's not true. Stick it out over there and turn Charlotte around, because that will be the 6th story. Now you going to some new team because Nike says so or Puma said so, or whatever you sign with. That's not what's going to help things, because you might go to a new team and then what? Where you going to go? Charlotte's a big time. Like, they love sports. They are supporters of Charlotte Hornets, the original Charlotte Hornets, and they support their football teams. They just suck. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.